Many people believe EVs are the future. A lot of manufacturers are starting to create vehicles that fit within that niche, and for all the reasons that a lot of people believe are the right reasons to buy one, such as saving the environment, performance, quiet and silence, environmental sustainability, and just the overall styling appeal and technology. A lot of people are buying into them, but the unfortunate reality, there's a whole host of reasons why in fact you should not buy an electric vehicle. The first factor being the environment. The extraction and manufacturing processes of producing EV batteries negatively affect the environment, such as pollution, habitat destruction, and carbon emissions. We cannot talk about the green transition without taking the environmental impacts of lithium and cobalt mining into account. Though emissions deriving from mining these two elements are lower than those deriving from fossil fuels production, the extraction methods for lithium and cobalt is very energy intensive, and it leads to air and water pollution, land degradation, and potential for groundwater contamination. It is important to note that lithium and cobalt mining is estimated to be responsible for the emission of around 34 billion tons of carbon dioxide. About 45% of it is from coal, 35% from oil, and 20% from gas. On the other hand, we got the price. Insurance for an electric car will cost more than insurance for a regular gas-powered car. An electric vehicle's higher price tag and more complex equipment means it will cost more to repair or replace if it's in an accident. That can mean higher rates for policyholders who carry comprehensive and collision coverage. Insurance costs for EVs is largely higher than internal combustion engines, mainly because they are more expensive to repair and replace. For example, a new EV battery ranges between $4,000 and $20,000 depending on the make and model of your EV, compared to $100 to $200 for an internal combustion engine battery. If the battery of an EV is damaged in an accident, that's a significantly more expensive replacement cost that you might even consider buying a new vehicle. On top of more expensive parts, there also aren't as many repair shops with technicians trained to fix electric vehicles versus traditional internal combustion engine vehicles. That means those qualified facilities will charge more for repairs because of the specialized training required. Also, the charging is super expensive, and long as the cost of electricity varies far more than the cost of gasoline, depending on where you live, the rate plan you're on, when you charge, and whether you do so at home or at a commercial public charger. For example, in California, people pay an average of 20 cents per kilowatt hour for residential electricity, but in Idaho it's 8 cents and in Hawaii it's 30 cents, according to the latest data from the U.S. Energy Information Administration, though that is from 2021. That variance would be like paying $5 a gallon for gasoline in California, $2.40 a gallon in Idaho, and $7.50 a gallon in Hawaii, wildly greater variation than we see at the pump. And the cost of electricity isn't clearly labeled where you dispense it, buried instead in a morass of tariffs and times of day. Not to forget that they depreciate like shit. Matter of fact, they depreciate even worse than Mercedes. Despite all discounts and price deductions, EVs are still 15% more expensive than gas-powered cars, and they easily lose over 50% of their value in span of 5 years, while market average is about 39%. Another concern being heavy electric vehicles could pose safety risk for other drivers and pedestrians due to their weight, as you'll see in this video.
This morning, auto safety advocates are continuing to sound the alarm as bigger and heavier electric cars, commonly known as EVs, are hitting the road. Let me bring you up to speed on why they say how heavy the batteries are could result in extra risks.
Study shows that if a car is just 1,000 pounds heavier, would increase likelihood in a deadly crash by 47%. EVs are a lot heavier, as batteries alone can easily weigh around 3,000 pounds mark. In case of an accident, the weight will have severe and terrible outcome to both drivers and pedestrians, especially from heavy big vehicles. It's simple physics. And to make matter worse, EVs tend to be more dangerous while catching on fire, as it can take hours if not days to put out, as lithium batteries themselves have fuel inside them, and in case of an overcharge, disaster strikes. Here's an example of an EV that caught on fire and spread it to other expensive cars, which resulted in loss of millions of dollars in worth. Not to forget that fire stayed for weeks in middle of ocean. Another example is when Omar Awan lost his life at his Tesla Model S for speeding. Awan lost control of his vehicle, so the all-electric sedan ended up hitting several trees. After the collision, the Model S was engulfed in flames like a massive ball of fire. As one of the bystanders explained, the officer arrived just a few minutes later, but the efforts to get the driver out remained in vain due to the Model S's unique retractable door handles that didn't work properly.
When the all-electric Tesla is moving, the door handles recede into the body. The metal is flush for better aerodynamics. During an accident, the door handles are supposed to pop out automatically, but the doctor's family says that didn't happen.
The door handles are designed to pop up when they detect the key fob is nearby, but they malfunction since the only other way to open is to do it manually from the inside. But Awan ended up in a death trap in a car full of smoke and then flames, which suffocated him and made him unable to reach the door handles. On the other side, the first responders were unable to break the windshield, therefore Awan lost his life due to smoke inhalation and thermal. While Tesla recalled these retractable door handles, they still denied any liability in court. That was all for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and let me know what you think down in comments. And stay tuned if you want to learn about hydrogen engines and how they might eliminate the EV market. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.